Look at Glenn Close. Look at this nutcase. I mean, she's played nutcases in a few films, and she's an excellent actress. Now I realize maybe she's not that great. Maybe it's just method. Maybe it's just her. You know, it's like you ask me to go on some show and act like a news anchor. Yeah, it'd be pretty easy for me. I'll just be myself. I think that's Glenn Close. Here she is.
So we've watched with the rest of the world our democracy being systematically disemboweled and torn apart, along with the institutions which in the near past, though never perfect, have stabilized our society and supported the American people. I am outraged and sickened by what is happening under the Trump regime. The cruelty, inhumanity, and arrogance, the voracious corruption, the cowardice, the sickening hypocrisy, the blatant manipulation of facts, and now the cold-blooded murder of American citizens.
Oh, my God. Okay. She played a lawyer in Jagged Edge named Teddy, and she was very good. Glenn, it doesn't actually make you a lawyer. Just to steal a line from Working Girl, doesn't make me badada. Never will. It doesn't make you a lawyer. This is not murder, you absolute idiot. Hello, Corinne Jean-Pierre in a blonde or gray wig. She can't get through a 1-minute statement without reading it. Why don't you try, what do you call it? Ad-libbing. I think that's what you actresses call ad-libbing. Try to have an independent thought that comes from the heart as opposed to reading down on your fucking laptop, which is so obvious that's what you're doing. You couldn't even fake it well. Do you need cue cards? Is that, if you don't have your cue cards, you can't say something intelligent? I am sick of these multimillionaires pulling this bullshit. That leads me to Whoopi Goldberg, speaking of actresses who don't know how to act.
People on both sides of the aisle are saying the account from Nome and Bovine does not seem to match what they watched with their own two eyes. So the question is,
you're an idiot.
How long can they continue this? They murdered a man. He is standing, he has his phone, and he has a bottle of water. He has his phone and a bottle of water, and they shot him 10 times. What the?
Part of the torture that intelligent people have to endure being on this earth is being surrounded by idiots like that. It's not easy. It's not easy. You think it's like easy. It's a gift to have 2 brain cells. The audience is feeling it with me right now. It's not. It's not a gift. It's actually a curse. Sometimes I'd rather be an idiot. I'd rather be somebody who can sit in that view audience and be like, yeah, he was just standing there with his phone and his water bottle. God, they're so mean. You know, like what's the name of that actress? Yeah, it makes me want a hot dog real bad. What's her name? Jennifer Coolidge. Like, life would be easier if you could be at that level of intellectual functioning. Unfortunately for all of this audience and the gentlemen who are my guests today, we're not there. And so it's incredibly frustrating to have to share our globe with these morons who actually want to go out and spew misinformation like that on a case as important as this, you guys. It's unfair. It's unfair to us.
Yeah, it's unfair to us, Megyn. And I'd also say it sort of feels fake to even debate these people at this point. Mm-hmm. You know, when all of these encounters that are happening with ICE start with one of these agitators assaulting officers and obstructing law enforcement, right? But of course, all that is forgotten in the debate of this entire thing. And we're supposed to study tape like the Zapruder film and decide that these ICE agents are evil. It kind of depresses you because it makes you feel like if she's saying that stuff like that, then there's people that believe that.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And this is just my own point of view, Megyn. But I mean, honestly, I don't care how many times Glenn Close says she's not going to be ignored. I'm going to choose to continue to ignore her.
Don't you have a bunny to boil somewhere, Glenn?
What happened to that? I mean,
I don't know. Liked you better there.
It's just so profoundly disappointing because there's just not a fundamental commitment to the rule of law as I started. There's just not. It's partisan permission slips one way or another. When you hear what they have to say, you wonder a lot about how those people would have reacted in the 60s in the Deep South, where the federal government had to come in and make sure that little black kids could go to school. But the local environment didn't support it, and they were up in arms. And it's a similar situation in many regards. And then you look at like what it is that this illegal immigrant community has done in Minneapolis in terms of pedophilia, rape, murder, all the people that they're saying that they're picking up now. These are realistic community impact deals that they just want to ignore simply because Donald Trump has made a commitment to remove these people. And like there is historical parallels. I'm not saying the federal government is always right. What I am saying is that if you are a decent human being, you will look at what this election in 2024 was about, and it is about removing these sorts of people, removing illegal immigrants who are committing crimes in our communities. And just to cast that away and somehow side with a bunch of protesters who put themselves in harm's way to try to prevent that from happening does reek a little bit of the 1960s, in my view.
I don't know if we have the will or the ability to actually do this, though. Like I was thinking about it over the weekend, and Jesse Kelly, Megyn, Jesse Kelly, he's talked for years about this national divorce, and I feel like we're on the brink of that. There's some Americans who don't care about safe streets.
Okay, but we're getting custody of the children because the lunatics on the other side.
Fair.
Yeah, but don't want them exposed to some very bad hombres. Sorry, Duncan, keep going.
ICE is here to remove criminal illegal aliens. They are not riot police.
Right.
Right? Like that's not their job. And so at some level, if you have governors and you have citizens who are opposed to the rule of law, how do you have a country with these people?
And so here's the thing is I think specifically what we've seen unfold in Minneapolis and in Minnesota is under the command of that corrupt Governor Walz, he's essentially told the police, step back and let the mayhem happen. Because what the left, we just discussed how these people are vapid and they aren't concerned about, well, you've had billions of dollars of fraud. You've had murders committed by illegal aliens. You've had all this crime that's committed by illegal aliens. What the left is fundamentally now operating on is feelings and images. So they want to put out an image of a child standing next to an ICE officer. They don't want to talk about how the father abandoned him and they contacted the mother and the mother has refused to pick up the child.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people.
That's
there's
right.
a lot of people who just see that headline, or they're on Instagram and they see the child,
implant it into their
and it's
dumb brain.
implanted in their head. And there's 20% of the population that only goes to that surface level of the thing, and their ultimate goal there is just drive down the polls.
Bingo.
On supporting, strong borders
And it's working.
ICE, and it works.
And so Walz allowed the mayhem specifically, and he ordered people, get out there with the cameras. I want you to film, because he thinks this is all a joke. He knows the left loves this like money train that they have going from all this corruption, where Keith Ellison's gotten money from people who have now been convicted of being part of that Minnesota fraud. So they see this as a money train. He said, get out there, get me some good looking footage. I want to see something that we can put on Instagram, that we can have Hollywood people put out. And now you're starting to see that, okay, we got the footage that we needed.
If you muddy the water enough, your own culpability doesn't come to the fore.
A new year means new financial goals, like making sure your savings are secure and diversified. Will this be the year you decide to talk to someone from Birch Gold Group? They use an educational approach with a deep understanding of macroeconomics. There are forces pushing the dollar lower and gold higher, which is why they believe every American should own physical gold. So until January 30th, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, just text MK to the number 989898. Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you are still eligible for a rebate of up to $10,000. Consider making right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate up to $10,000 when you buy by January 30th. Text MK to the number 989898. Claim your eligibility today. Again, just text MK to the number 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.